Somewhere beneath your feet, the earth is stirring. Magma is rising, pressure is building, and when it breaks through, the results are explosive. Volcanoes are not just natural wonders. They are cataclysmic forces of destruction. They shape continents, bury civilizations, and test the limits of human resilience. And we're still building next to them. Today, we take you inside the fire, from ancient cities frozen in time to modern towns racing against lava. This is the story of when the Earth erupts. This is Nature versus Infrastructure, Episode 3, When Volcanoes Erupt. Volcanoes form where Earth breaks. At tectonic boundaries and hotspots, molten rock surges upward, pushing through weaknesses in the crust. There are over 1,500 active volcanoes on Earth, but not all eruptions are the same. Some spill slow glowing rivers of lava, others unleash apocalyptic explosions that darken skies and collapse mountains. So what types of volcanoes are there? They come in many different forms, such as shield volcanoes, wide, gently sloped, and capable of massive flows like the Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Stratovolcanoes, tall, steep, layered with ash and lava, extremely explosive, such as Mount Fuji or Mount St. Helens. Calderas, collapsed supervolcanoes capable of planet-altering eruptions, like the recently erupted Yellowstone. But regardless of type, volcanoes are unpredictable, and when they erupt near people, they don't just test life, they test everything we build. In 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted with little warning. The thriving Roman city of Pompeii was buried in hours. Ash and gas poured down the mountain, incinerating some, suffocating others. Pyroclastic flows, avalanches of hot ash and gas, raced downhill at over 100 kilometers per hour. Over 2,000 people died. The city vanished, lost for more than 1,500 years. Today it's a perfectly preserved time capsule of Roman life and of catastrophic failure. The tragedy was not just in the loss of life, it was in the loss of infrastructure, aqueducts, roads, villas, bathhouses, entire systems frozen in collapse. And today, Naples, a modern city with more than 3 million people, sits dangerously close to Vesuvius. Evacuation plans exist, but would they be fast enough? May 18th, 1980, Washington State. A 5.1 magnitude earthquake strikes under Mount St. Helens. Seconds later, the entire north face of the volcano collapses. What followed was a lateral blast. Not upward, but sideways. A wall of heat, ash, and debris ripped through forests and towns at 1,100 kilometers per hour. Over 600 square kilometers were devastated. 57 people died. Roads, bridges, power lines and homes were obliterated. But there was a silver lining. Scientists had been watching. The eruptions sparked a revolution in volcano monitoring. It led to early warning systems, gas detectors, and seismic mapping tools now used around the world. Mount St. Helens didn't just erupt. It changed how we predict eruptions. It forced us to listen to the mountains. In Hawaii, Kilauea has been erupting almost non-stop since 1983. In 2018, it unleashed one of its most destructive flows in decades. Over 700 homes were wiped out. Entire neighborhoods became molten wastelands. But Hawaiians don't run, they adapt. Homes are designed for quick evacuation. Roads are built to redirect flow. Emergency teams monitor lava paths with drones and satellite data. On the other side of the world, Iceland faces its own fire. In 1973, the volcano Eldfell erupted on the island of Heimaey. Lava threatened to block the island's only harbour. Engineers pumped 6.8 billion litres of seawater onto the lava, slowing and diverting the flow. The harbour and the island was saved. It remains one of the most successful examples of humans engineering against nature, with nature itself. They couldn't fight the volcano with machines, but they could cool it, guide it, survive it. Volcanoes don't just affect nearby towns. They can change the entire world. In 1783, the Laki eruption in Iceland lasted 8 months. It poisoned air and crops across Europe, triggered famine, and may have caused 6 million indirect deaths globally. In 1991, the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines injected 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, cooling Earth's temperature by 0.6 degrees Celsius for 2 years. And in 2010, Eyjafjallajökull, Iceland again, brought global air travel to a halt for days. The fine ash damaged jet engines, grounding 100,000 flights. Around the world, nations are fighting back, with science and preparation. Japan has over 100 active volcanoes, and the world's most advanced seismic monitoring system. Indonesia, where eruptions are frequent, is using drones, mobile alerts, and volcanic exclusion zones. Ecuador, Chile, the Philippines, all building real-time data networks and community drills. These systems aren't about stopping volcanoes, they're about surviving them, because the eruptions will come. What matters is how we respond. Volcanoes remind us that the Earth is alive, breathing, moving, changing. They are terrifying, but they are also awe-inspiring. They've buried cities, broken mountains, and shaped continents, but they've also made new lands, fertilized soils, and revealed the resilience of human engineering. The question isn't if they'll erupt again, it's whether we'll be ready. This has been Nature vs. Infrastructure. Subscribe to see more stories of where the world we build meets the power we cannot control.